Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII and the mother of Queen Elizabeth I, is one of the most iconic and tragic figures in English history. Born around 1501, Anne was the daughter of Thomas Boleyn, a diplomat, and Elizabeth Howard, a member of the powerful Howard family. Raised in an aristocratic family, Anne spent much of her early years in Europe, including in the Netherlands and France, where she was exposed to the cultured and sophisticated court life. It was in France where she received an education that was rare for women of her time, one that made her stand out when she returned to England in the early 1520s. Upon her return, Anne became a lady-in-waiting to Queen Catherine of Aragon, Henry VIII's first wife. It wasn't long before Henry became infatuated with Anne. Anne's beauty, sharp wit, and intelligence set her apart from the other women in the court. However, she was not willing to become just another mistress, as Henry had expected. Her refusal only deepened Henry's obsession, and he soon became determined to make her his queen. Anne's rejection of his advances was not merely a matter of morality, it was a calculated political move. She understood that marriage, not mistresshood, would bring her the power she sought. Anne's refusal to be a mistress would spark a series of events that would change the course of English history. Henry, desperate for a male heir to succeed him on the throne, sought to annul his marriage to Catherine in order to marry Anne. When the Pope refused to annul his marriage, Henry broke away from the Catholic Church and declared himself the head of the Church of England. This decision set the stage for his marriage to Anne in 1533, and she was crowned Queen of England shortly thereafter. However, Anne's time as queen was far from secure. In September 1533, she gave birth to a daughter, Elizabeth, rather than the male heir Henry desperately desired. Although Elizabeth would later become one of England's greatest monarchs, her birth, instead of a son, placed Anne in a precarious position. Henry's desire for a male heir began to erode their relationship, and his attention turned to one of Anne's ladies-in-waiting, Jane Seymour. The political landscape around Anne grew hostile, and enemies at court began to plot her downfall. In 1536, Anne's enemies, led by Thomas Cromwell, seized the opportunity to accuse her of adultery, incest, and conspiring to kill the king. These charges were almost certainly fabricated to remove her from the throne. The trial was a farce, and Anne was convicted of treason. On May 19, 1536, Anne Boleyn was executed by beheading at the Tower of London. Her execution shocked the kingdom, but Anne's legacy did not die with her. Despite her death, Anne's daughter, Elizabeth, would go on to rule England for 45 years, becoming one of the most successful and revered monarchs in history. Elizabeth I's reign saw England flourish, with victories like the defeat of the Spanish Armada and the growth of English influence in the world. Anne's bloodline, though cut short, ultimately changed the course of English history. Anne Boleyn's life also played a crucial role in the English Reformation. Her marriage to Henry VIII and the subsequent split from the Catholic Church helped establish Protestantism in England, an event that would have lasting religious, political, and cultural repercussions. Though Anne's life was short, her influence endured. Her rise to power, her political savvy, and her tragic end make her a figure that continues to captivate and intrigue people around the world. Anne's story has inspired countless books, films, and historical studies, ensuring that her place in history remains cemented. Her life serves as a testament to the power of ambition, the fragility of royal favor, and the impact one woman can have on the course of history. Anne's legacy is most enduring in her daughter, Elizabeth I, who would rule England with strength and wisdom, ushering in a golden age. Through Elizabeth, Anne's influence on English politics, culture, and religion remained potent, making her one of the most fascinating figures of the Tudor era. Anne Boleyn may have lost her head, but her legacy lived on through her daughter and the lasting impact of her life on English history.